Question for you. What happens when you can't find any team to work in your business? This is unfortunately no longer an academic question per se. This isn't like something that you might be dealing with. This is definitely happening across the board, at least in Australian society. Pretty sure it's happening in the other Western countries as well, that there's just no one to work. This is a problem, particularly if you're in a business that's doing well and you need more team, you need to expand. What are you going to do? Well, let's take two businesses. Business A, business B, they're the same. They're both doing the same revenue. Let's say they've got 8 people in each of them and they're like, you know what, we need to expand. We've got enough work. We need 2 more people. And so they go out and they discover that there are no people. Now, business A accepts this and says, okay, well, we can't expand. We can't take on the extra work. It takes 8 people to run this business right now. We've got 8 people. We need to say no to the work. We need to stop. Can't take on that work. But business B has exactly the same experience. 8 people is all they've got. They can't find 2 extra people. But instead of accepting and saying, you know what, this is how it is, we have to say no, we can't take on any more work, they take a different avenue. And that avenue is to say, you know what, if we've only got 8 people, we need these people to work more effectively. We need to get another 20% out of each of these people. And lo and behold, they will now have the working capacity of 10, even though they've only got 8. How did that magic happen? Well, the effectiveness of the people went up by 20%. Now, do not be deceived and think that this is an easy task. It's not. If it was an easy task, then the businesses would have already done it. But the benefit of business B is substantial. They can take the extra work. They can increase their profits if they're well run. Hopefully they are. They've increased their revenue. They've increased their profits. They're actually paying the same to their people with increased numbers of clients, so they should be more profitable. There's more cash in the bank. There's more money for advertising. There's more money for the vaults of safety net. And eventually what might happen is that business A struggles. They start to decline. And perhaps it's not business A, but it's business C that is quite poorly run, using 8, but they're so ineffective that they go broke, releasing 8 people, and now 4 go to business A, 4 go to business B, and now business A is at 12. They're like, fantastic, we've found our extra 2. We've actually taken another 2 because we know there's a bunch of work out there. But business B is a very interesting case because they have gone from 8 to 12 people, but their productivity is increased by 20%. So their 12 people are now worth 15. Paying 12, doing the work of 15. This allows them to be more profitable because they have to pay less people to get the same amount or more work done than business A. They have an essential strategic advantage over business A, even though they both have the same number of people. So this is worth considering. This question, how do I get my team to be more effective? And you might look at software, might look at leadership, you might look at training, you might look at many different avenues. But I'm going to suggest to you that one of the most effective ways is getting the instructions with the work. Just like in a recipe, where if you've got the instructions, you have the ability to make that cake or build that recipe far more easily than if you did not have those instructions. In some cases, it's going to be extremely difficult, at least until you've memorized that recipe by doing it so many times that you can actually do it without looking at the recipe. But up until that, having the recipe with the ingredients will allow you to make that recipe with far more success and effectiveness than if you did not have it. Think of it a little bit like Lego. Yes, the kids' Lego. How hard is it to do Lego without the instructions? Pretty hard. How easy is it to do Lego with the instructions? Pretty easy. And yet businesses do not make a concerted effort to think about how are we going to get the instructions with the work. And this potentially is not just a 20% increase or a 30% increase. This could easily represent a 100% increase. That literally that business that had 8 now does the work of 16. And it annihilates its other competition because it is so much more effective. So this perhaps is where you should focus. How do I get more out of each of my team? Because if you cannot get team members, then your only competitive advantage, if you are the same as a competitor, is to be able to make your team more effective. If you need help in how to set this up so that the work of your business gets done by team members who have access to the instructions so their work is effective, then head over to systemio.dev. I will run you through how to set this up so that your team becomes more effective in everything that they do. All right, that's all I got for you. Thanks for tuning in today. I hope you got a lot of value out of today's session, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode as we continue this journey into the power of systems to create results. See you then.